The story begins deep underground, thousands of miles beneath Earth's surface, a world where deadly creatures ruled everything from the skies down to the darkest waters. This is where we find King Kong, the guardian of this world, arriving at the edge of a lake with a small monkey. But he had no idea, so he deliberately baited Kong into stepping in. But Kong was sharper than that. One quick sniff of the air and he already knew. Today, he was getting a kill. Kong stepped into the lake without a word and started bathing. The little monkey panicked, terrified his cover was blown. So he started pretending, plunged, jaws wide open. The little monkey saw his plan had worked. He bolted for the shore to save himself. Kong had won every fight on land, but underwater against something like this, that was new. He was still reading its moves when the dragon grabbed him and yanked him straight down into the lake. What the dragon didn't know was how dangerous Kong gets when he's angry. The little monkey thought he was finally free of Kong for good, but the next second, Kong's massive weapon crashed down right in front of him. Before the monkey could react, Kong dropped the dragon's severed head at his feet. The monkey braced for a beating, but Kong did nothing. He just picked up his axe and gestured forward. Move. What the monkey didn't know was that King Kong had been wandering this world alone for thousands of years, searching for someone like himself. He went hungry every day. The wolves here tormented him constantly, chasing him in packs. When hundreds came at him at once, he barely escaped using his leaps. But this time, the pack wouldn't quit. They kept circling, tightening in. Finally, he hit a deep ravine, nowhere left to run. He turned around. It was time to. He had already set his trap and was sitting right in the middle of it. The moment one wolf leaped, the trap snapped. The wolf dropped straight into a pit. Wooden spears drove straight through it. Kong grabbed a massive tree trunk and hurled it down. One by one, the traps fired. Boulders came rolling off the mountain, crushing wolves as they tried to flee. When the smoke cleared, a few survivors still weren't walking away. Kong grabbed a carcass and tore it clean in two. The rest ran with their tails between their legs. But even after the hunt, Kong's face showed nothing. A rotten tooth had been destroying him from the inside. Just then, a lizard that had been hiding nearby snatched a piece of meat and bolted. Kong lunged, but something stopped him. A sound, far off, echoing from the valley. That roar made him think maybe someone like him was out there calling. He sprinted toward it, but when he arrived, all he found was a strange little frog perfectly mimicking his sound. After all these years, still alone. That emptiness was breaking him. Eventually, the tooth pain pushed him to do the one thing he never wanted to do: ask humans for help. Against his will, he crossed into the human world. The moment he arrived, Kong collapsed on a hillside and waited. By luck, a group of scientists spotted him, but panicking, they pumped him full of anesthesia, and he dropped right there. They called in the city's top dentist. No time wasted. A thick steel wire was wrapped tight around the rotten tooth. Right on cue, Kong exhaled an absolutely rancid breath. Once everything was set, a spacecraft suddenly blasted upward, and with one sharp jerk, Kong's massive tooth came flying out. When Kong came to, his old tooth had been replaced with brand new titanium. The moment he felt it, raw power surged through him. He felt unstoppable. But right then, an emergency signal fired from Kong's world, and it shook the entire lab. The scientists assembled a rescue team immediately. They dove into the portal alongside Kong, the one that led straight to his world. The spacecraft was yanked downward at terrifying speed, and within seconds, they crossed through. Back home, Kong found his food had been stolen. He grabbed his axe and moved straight to the top of a rocky cliff. There, didn't think twice, he dove straight into the dark. The moment he hit the pitch black, his axe lit up on its own. Strange glowing stones covered the ground around him, reacting to the light. Then a terrifying roar thundered from somewhere deep ahead. He followed it past a waterfall and found a massive, terrifying shadow rose up in front of him. Kong raised his axe. He stepped into the light. The truth hit him. Not a monster, just a small, innocent little monkey. Yellow fur, wide eyes. Kong himself was stunned. For the first time in thousands of years, he was looking at someone like himself. Kong lowered his weapon immediately. He reached out his hand and offered a friendship. He expected the monkey to feel the same way. Instead, the monkey lunged forward and bit Kong hard. After searching this long, Kong wasn't letting him go. He took off running after him. But suddenly, a terrifying shadow rose up behind him. He froze. He had never in his life seen a bald gorilla his own size. As Kong moved toward it, two long-armed gorillas came up from behind and slammed him into the ground. The smirk on the bald one said everything. They came here to fight. Kong decided right then, so did he. He grabbed a rock and hurled it straight at the gorilla. The bald one charged. Kong outplayed him easily. In moments, he was putting them all on the ground. Even when the bald one grabbed Kong's axe, he couldn't do anything with it, flat on his back. Just as Kong reached for his weapon, the little yellow monkey came sprinting in and launched at his face. Kong caught him and used him as a weapon, giving the remaining gorillas a proper beating. They knew they couldn't beat Kong, but they kept coming anyway, rotating in one by one. Mid-fight, one monkey slipped and fell into a ravine. Kong moved fast, grabbed him and yanked him back up. Instead of any gratitude, the monkey scooped up a knife and slashed at Kong. Kong's rage exploded. One massive kick sent him right back into the ravine. The bald one saw this and ran. Kong grabbed a rock and launched it, hit him square in the head. Even with the hit, the bald one just kept muttering and disappeared without a look back. Kong reached into the trees, pulled the monkey that had been hiding and slammed him to the ground. Then he picked up the bald one's dropped knife and signaled to the little monkey, "Take me to their base." No choice, the little monkey led the way. Kong followed close behind. As they pushed deeper, dangerous animals appeared on all sides. Beneath this quiet surface, danger waited at every single step. Trying to shake Kong off, the little monkey cleverly steered them into dragon territory. What he didn't know, that move was not going to last against Kong. A massive dragon stepped out right in front of them. Instead of backing down, Kong put it down in minutes, then sat and started eating like it was nothing. The little monkey wanted to come closer, but fear kept him rooted. Kong noticed and broke off a piece of meat, tossed it on the ground. "Eat it or don't, I'm done." Starving, the monkey finally ate, and with every bite, something shifted. Maybe Kong wasn't so bad after all. Slowly, he found the nerve to come sit right next to him. The two of them sat together in silence. In that moment, it looked exactly like a father sitting quietly with his kid. But neither of them knew that with every step forward, something dangerous was closing in fast. As they pushed deeper, Kong finally found others like himself, and it broke his heart. They were all living in brutal conditions, forced to work all day, every day. Their lives were nothing short of hell. An old monkey accidentally dropped a stone, and a guard beat him mercilessly for it. Kong couldn't hold back. He slammed his axe into the ground and scooped the old monkey up. A guard flew at him in a rage, warning him to back off. But in that moment, Kong's defiance lit something in the others, a spark of hope. But the bald one who had fled was watching all of it from a distance and ran straight to the ruler of this place, Skar King. The moment Skar King heard the report, he exploded with rage. As he rose from his throne, every monkey in his path bowed immediately. But Skar King studied him. Then he spotted the steel tooth in Kong's mouth and laughed. Next moment, he kicked a monkey straight into a churning pool of lava just to make a point. Kong's anger hit its peak. Skar King pulled his weapon from his shoulder, ready to teach Kong a lesson. Kong raised his axe, and the fight was on. Skar King exploited his weapon's range, launching a sudden attack before Kong could recover. Using the crystal on his weapon, he landed blow after blow. Kong came at him hard, but in pure strength, Skar King was no match, so he kept distance, landing strikes from range, slowly forcing Kong back.
Then Kong's axe slipped from his grip. Skar King wrapped his weapon around Kong and drove him into the ground. Kong put him down fast, but Skar King decided to stop holding back. As the stone on his weapon began to glow, the gorillas suddenly dropped boulders to block off the lava. Right then, Eyes appeared in the dark of a cave, the ground turned to ice, and out stepped the titan, Shimo, the creature that once froze the entire world. Skar King ordered Shimo to attack Kong immediately. Shimo didn't want this, but as the pressure built, he writhed and ordered the kill. Just as the next attack was coming, the little monkey appeared from behind, pointing urgently toward a tunnel. "Run, now!" Shimo struck again under compulsion. Kong spun and dove into the tunnel at full speed. But hundreds of enemies were still right behind him. The good news, years of living here meant Kong had traps laid throughout the jungle, but the sheer numbers were overwhelming, and the injured Kong was quickly cornered in a dead end. One last trap left to count on. But the monkeys that had been getting caught all the way here had wised up. This time they spotted the vine on the ground immediately. When Kong realized his plan had failed, he thought it was over. Right then, the trap on the hillside fired on its own. Hundreds of tons of rock came crashing straight down. Every last monkey was buried under the rubble. Kong looked up and saw the one who triggered it, the little monkey. Kong was badly wounded, no condition to fight. He leaned on the scientists with Kong found their entire base destroyed. Then they spotted a massive handprint carved into a cliffside and understood there were other giant creatures like Kong in this world. They pushed deep into the jungle and found a hidden mechanism. The moment a girl pressed it, water came rushing in from multiple directions, forming a powerful current flowing deeper inside. The scientists followed it until they stood in front of a mysterious, magical wall, concealing an invisible location deep in the jungle. The moment they touched it, blue light pulsed through it. They immediately cut a hole through, and what they saw on the other side left them completely speechless. Behind the wall was a world seen or even heard of. The moment the scientists stepped in, tribal people immediately surrounded them. They looked human, but nothing about them was ordinary. Without harming anyone, they were taken straight to the tribe. There, they learned these people had lived beneath the earth for thousands of years, protecting a portal that connected directly to the surface world above. Skar King had been hunting for this exact location for years, so he could use the portal to seize the human world. Right at that moment, Kong caught the scent of the humans and tracked them down, but the invisible wall blocked his view inside. So the tribal people cracked the wall open and Kong slipped through, stepping straight into the middle of the humans. What no one knew, the monkey tailing them had seen every single second of it. The moment Kong stepped in front of the humans, he gave out and collapsed to the ground. The scientists saw it immediately. Kong's arm was severely injured. He couldn't do anything. The doctor made the call instantly. The arm had to be completely replaced. The idea came to him right away. The mechanical arm. The same super mechanical arm humans had engineered specifically to make Kong more powerful. The good news, it was still safely stored in the underground mechanical storage beneath the destroyed base. The doctor retrieved it and lowered it directly over Kong's body. The machine automatically detected the injured area and began attaching itself. The moment the special medicine inside entered Kong's system, something shifted. Even half-conscious, new power washed over him. The look on his face said everything. He loved this new weapon. But right then, the little monkey came sprinting in from the jungle, out of breath. Skar King had found the portal's location and was coming with Shimo to attack the tribe. Kong couldn't take on both of them alone. There was only one option left. Go to the surface and wake up Godzilla, who had been sleeping for years. But Kong had absolutely no idea that the one he was going to call on for help was about to become his biggest threat. Suddenly, the ground around a pyramid shook violently, and a mechanical Kong emerged from it in no time. The moment Godzilla sensed Kong's presence, he jolted awake. Without a second's hesitation, he moved straight towards him. The moment he came face to face with Kong, Godzilla decided Kong was here to challenge him. He came at him at full speed. The rage in his eyes was crystal clear. He was not letting Kong walk away. Kong raised his hand, trying to signal peace. Godzilla wasn't hearing it. He slammed into Kong and sent him flying hundreds of meters. Kong tried to hit from behind, hoping to get hard. Godzilla was at full power, but with the mechanical arm, Kong was no pushover either. But when Kong realized he couldn't win this, he grabbed Godzilla and started physically dragging him toward the portal by force. On the other side, the tribal people mixed a special red liquid into the water to slow Skar King down. The moment it dissolved, a transformation triggered, a system activated that began linking two massive pyramids together. When they connected, gravity would cut out temporarily, sending everything floating, making reaching the portal nearly impossible for Skar King. But before the pyramids could fully lock, Skar King arrived. He recognized the anti-gravity system instantly. He immediately ordered Shimo to seal the path between the pyramids with ice. Then a blinding flash exploded from the portal and hit the ground. Godzilla and Kong tore through the rubble and burst out into the open. The moment Godzilla's eyes locked onto Shimo and Skar King, it all clicked. He understood exactly why Kong brought him here. Without a single wasted second, he teamed up with Kong and went straight at them. Skar King moved forward with Shimo at his side. Nobody was backing down. The moment all four collided, the ice shattered and the pyramids slammed into each other. The shockwave wiped gravity from the entire area. Everyone went airborne. Even without gravity, Godzilla moved with Kong blocked every strike with the mechanical arm. In moments, the tide shifted. Kong was getting the upper hand, but the numbers came from behind, forcing hits on him. The little monkey grabbed rocks and started helping Kong. Then Shimo seized the moment, launched at Godzilla and had him completely frozen within seconds. But Godzilla shattered the ice with one move. Right then, the anti-gravity system cut off. Gravity slammed back. Skar King broke free of Kong's grip and dove straight into the portal. Godzilla and Kong jumped in right after him. In the chaos, Kong's axe was left behind. On the surface, humans had no clue what was about to hit them. The ocean waves froze solid into mountains of ice. The next moment, Skar King and Shimo were on the surface. Feeling open sky above him, Skar King looked down at the humans below and let out a thunderous roar. He believed his moment had come. He ordered Shimo to freeze the sky. Shimo didn't want to, but under compulsion, he began raining ice in every direction. Buildings punched that knocked his 3-ton tooth clean out of his mouth. In a fury, Skar King ordered the attack on Kong, but right then, Godzilla arrived and cut Shimo off. Without Shimo, Skar King was finished. He ripped a massive building from the ground and hurled it at Kong, barely a scratch. Then Shimo came from behind and latched onto the mechanical arm. Godzilla powered up fully. His entire body erupted in purple light. He launched a devastating strike straight at Skar King. Skar King panicked and barely slipped away. He swung back with his weapon, but Godzilla caught it and snapped it in two with one move. The crystal controlling Shimo hit the ground. Skar King lunged for it. Godzilla gave him nothing. Everything came down to that crystal. Whoever grabbed it won the fight. Right at that moment, the little monkey spotted Kong's abandoned axe. He leapt down, grabbed it, crossed into the human world, and the moment he saw the crystal on the ground, he brought the axe down on it without hesitation. One hit, shattered. The moment the crystal broke, Shimo was free. Skar King, still raging, was about to grab the little monkey and end him, but Kong stepped in. Crystal, Skar King had nothing left. The freed Shimo looked towards Godzilla as if waiting for a signal, and then, for the first time in thousands of years, he did exactly what he had always wanted to do. In one moment, he turned Skar King into a statue of solid ice. Kong launched him into the air and drove him into the ground with everything he had. Skar King's body shattered right there. The fight was over, but the world still needed to heal. Godzilla looked up at the sky and released a massive burst of energy. The black clouds broke apart. Sunlight slowly returned to the earth. Godzilla returned to his domain and sank back into a deep sleep. Kong returned beneath the surface with his new companion, and together with his tribe, he began building something new.